Hi, everyone. This is Inspirebeautiful. Love requires openness, it requires empathy, courage, and sometimes the audacity to love again after heartbreak. But there is something love cannot survive without, and that's self respect. Because love without self respect slowly turns into self abandonment. And self abandonment does not create connection, it creates resentment. Throughout this series, we've talked about safety, empathy, maturity, and healing after pain. But none of those things matter if you lose yourself in the process. So today, we're talking about the standard that protects love, self respect. Let's define self respect. It's not arrogance, it's not superiority, and it's not coldness. Self respect is the quiet understanding that my needs matter too. It means you're allowed to have standards, you're allowed to express discomfort, and you're allowed to walk away from what consistently diminishes you. And at its core, self respect is alignment. It's when your actions remain connected to your values, even when it's uncomfortable. Without self respect, love can slowly become distorted. You begin over explaining, over giving, and over compromising. At first, it seems caring, but over time, it turns into exhaustion. You start shrinking in small ways, ignoring little things that matter, staying quiet to keep the peace, and accepting behavior you once said you wouldn't. And eventually, something painful happens. You stop feeling fully present in your own relationship, not because love disappeared, but because you did. Healthy love requires compromise, but compromise is mutual. Erosion is one sided. Compromise says, we both adjust. Erosion says, I disappear so this can continue. That distinction matters because connection should never require the loss of yourself. Real love may challenge you, it may even stretch you, but it should not reduce you. There's a myth that standards push people away, but emotionally healthy people are not intimidated by clarity. In fact, self respect creates stability. When you respect yourself, you communicate more calmly. You set boundaries without hostility. You stop chasing what repeatedly withdraws, and you stop begging for what should be mutual. That steadiness creates emotional safety. And as we discussed earlier in this series, safety is foundational to love. Self respect is not a wall, it's structure. It takes courage to maintain your standards. Self respect becomes visible in difficult moments. When you say no, when you ask for clarity, when you recognize repeated patterns, and when you walk away from what consistently feels misaligned. That takes courage, especially when you fear losing the connection. But here's the truth: if maintaining your dignity destroys the relationship was already unstable. Self respect does not ruin healthy love, It reveals unhealthy dynamics. Here's a gentle reflection for you. Ask yourself, have I ever stayed quiet to avoid conflict? Have I ever tolerated behavior I knew was hurting me? And have I ever confused being understanding with abandoning myself? Self respect is rarely loud, it's quiet, steady, and consistent. It's the decision to remain connected to yourself even while loving someone else. Emotional safety creates space for love, empathy deepens it, maturity stabilizes it, and courage allows us to open again after pain. But self respect protects it because the capacity to love is not just the capacity to care deeply, it's the capacity to care deeply without losing yourself in the process. And in our final episode, we're going to bring everything together because the true capacity to love is the capacity to remain yourself. Inspire beautiful. Take care, everyone, and thanks for joining me.